welcome to another edition of Let's Be Fit with Tamara Kissinger, the owner of TK Fitness here in the OSU Endeavor Center. And today we're going to be talking about healthy eating over the holidays and tips to achieve those goals. Welcome back to Let's Be Fit with our host, Tamara Kissinger, owner of TK Fitness here in the OSU South Center's Endeavor Center. And today we're going to be talking about healthy eating tips for the upcoming holiday season. Tamara, it's great to have you back on the show again today.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm getting excited for the upcoming holiday season and all those meals, which
right.
I look forward to. I don't know about you, but
I think everybody looks forward to those holiday meals. It's a tradition, and you know, it's good food.
But it's something that we look forward to, but we also kind of dread. You know,
Yes.
I know whenever I got ready for work this morning, I always did my customary kind of step on the scale and kind of see where things are at and
Right.
think about, well, you know, probably the next 3 or 4 weeks probably not going to be too good, but I've got to mentally prepare myself for that.
But that's a good thing. We always want to be prepared, right? I mean, that's what, going into the holidays, we should all have a plan as to how we're going to stay healthy and what we should be eating, when we should be eating, those kinds of things. So today I brought several tips with me to help us with those holiday eating.
Okay, well that's great. So, you know, as the owner of TK Fitness, the fitness center here,
Right.
Obviously you probably have a lot of clients
Yes.
that come in here that are always, you know, part of the battle is a big part of the battle is getting it off, but part of it is keeping it off.
Right.
And so we really want to talk about some of those tips, and probably people ask you for advice all the time on
Right.
what can I do? And, you know, obviously Thanksgiving, you know, we think
Yes.
about, you know, eat as much as you can, or some of us do anyway. But what happens, you know, if you do overeat during the holidays? What are some things you can kind of do to kind of help
Right.
curb yourself or control yourself?
It's very common to overeat, especially, you know, that Thanksgiving meal. But, you know, first of all, try not to overeat. But if you do, try to balance it out on the next meal. So if you have a big Thanksgiving turkey meal, the next one just have a snack, you know, or eat lots of vegetables. So just try to kind of balance it out. But also don't skip a meal. So don't think that, you know, getting up for Thanksgiving, I'll skip a meal, I'll skip breakfast and then have a big Thanksgiving dinner, because you will overeat.
You will overeat.
Yes, so that will tend, you know, to make you eat more at the Thanksgiving table, have more calories.
Okay. So, you know, wife and I were just talking about Thanksgiving dinner the other day,
Right.
and we're worried about, you know, are the plates big enough? And so that's probably something we should avoid as maybe a host, is not really trying to get the biggest plates that we can so everybody
Right.
can fill those up.
You don't want to have the biggest plates. What we want to do is make sure we have a good portion control. One of the biggest things to do is think about your hand. So looking at your hand, the palm, that should be your protein. So your meat should be about the size of your palm. I know we're used to going to the restaurants and we get this big steak dinner, but really it should be about the size of your palm. Your pastas and rice should be about the size of a hockey puck. Vegetables, a cup, which is about the size of your fist. So that's a good portion control. If you eat all these things and you're still hungry, wait about 10 minutes. Give your mind enough time to process how much you've eaten, and then go back for the seconds if you're still hungry.
Yeah.
But just keep it, you know, small if you can. Another good thing is, you know, that pie, try to have smaller portions. You know, I'm less likely to eat a big old pie piece, you know, piece of pumpkin pie, if there's a small little appetizer size one. So those are good options.
Okay. So sometimes, you know, what I like to do, there's a large sampling of desserts. You just get
Yes.
a little piece of each one.
I would say, yeah, I mean, as long as it's a small one, because at least you're not eating a big piece of each
All right.
one.
Okay. All right. So that does help.
Yes.
So, you know, like you mentioned, you know, take some time in between plates. It kind
Yes.
of helps you to realize that you're full.
Right.
How about liquid intake? Does that, I mean, everybody always says, you know, if you're dieting or something,
Yes.
it's good to drink a glass of water before a meal. And
Right.
So talk a little bit about that. You know, how do we supplement our meals with liquids to
Right.
kind of help fill us up?
Well, first of all, we should all drink plenty of water. Water is, a key, a vital part of healthy living. So you should be drinking about half of your body weight in ounces of water. So average woman, if she weighs 140 pounds, she'd want to be drinking about 70 ounces of water per day. Now, another thing you want to do around the Thanksgiving and the holidays is avoid the sugary drinks, whether it's alcohol drinks, that contain a lot of sugar, but also coffee and sweet tea. Avoid those sugary drinks. Hot buttered rum, those kind of things. They're high calorie, so avoid them. Don't drink your calories. You'd rather eat them.
True.
So avoid that if you can.
Okay. So nice big can of Pepsi with a meal is just kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, that's counterproductive.
Okay. All right.
Productive.
Okay. All right. So, as we're visiting with family and friends during the holidays, we have that big meal. Hopefully the weather will be nice.
Right.
That gives us an opportunity to maybe get out and take a walk or do some exercise.
Yes. Take time, especially after you get done eating. Instead of, sitting around, the living room, drinking coffee and eating more, go for a walk. Go out for a walk with your spouse or your friends or any other family member. Just spend that quality time with them. Get that exercise in. Enjoy the weather, hopefully, if it's nice. But that just gives you that extra exercise that you'll need.
Yeah, kind of get your metabolism going and keeps your body active and your blood flowing.
It helps spend them calories wisely. But and it's also just quality time with your family versus just sitting around and eating more calories. You're burning more calories, getting those muscles used. So much better way.
Very good. Okay, so and let's say I'm hosting a meal for family and friends to come over.
Right.
As far as foods I should prepare, maybe be pretty diverse in those offerings and have lots of different things, maybe even some healthy choices?
Yes. So not only healthy choices, but when you're cooking, there's other, you don't have to go the full fat. So instead of using whole milk, use skim milk. Have that vegetable tray with raw natural vegetables versus cooked in butter.
Right.
So we want to try eating more nutritious, more healthier items. But, be prepared for, like you said, you got a diverse crowd coming in who might be watching what they're eating. Make sure you have them options available to them. Like for dessert, a sugar-free Jell-O. Sugar-free Jell-O, I tell my clients, is great. You're still getting that sweetness, but it has next to no calories.
Right. You really can't tell that much of a difference in some of those things.
Than the full flavor Jell-O. And sugar-free whipped cream, those kind of things. Have those other options available to them, or even unsweetened. So those are all ways that you can help your other friends and family to meet their diet needs and their health needs during the holidays.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, like I mentioned, it's not really just, we're talking about Thanksgiving because that's coming up in the next week, but, Christmas is just clear through. I mean, Christmas cookies, right? Everybody's trying out all those new recipes they found on Pinterest or
TikTok.
Yeah, whatever the newest. But most of those are pretty... Yeah. Unhealthy.
Right. So again, look for sugar-free options and more natural items like maple syrup flavored. That's a good option to use instead of full sugar. Honey. And it also helps with our local vendors and local farmers too when you're using the local items such as local honey.
Right.
But those are great options instead of using full sugar. Another good one is monk fruit.
Okay.
Those are all good things that will help you cut the calories on your sugar cookies and things, Christmas cookies. But also another option is fruit during the holidays. The little oranges, the cuties, that's a healthier option versus, and it's still got the sugar, but it's just a healthier option for you during the holidays. And again, it also helps with the local farmers. Also, your youth groups oftentimes sell those items. Your Future Farmers of America.
Right, they do the citrus sale fundraisers.
Yes. And those are all great items, and they make great, you just put them out for the family, put them out in a bowl versus that cookie platter, So those are great options during the holidays.
But those are not a substitute to the healthiest of all options, which is a fruit cake, right?
Right, yeah, we don't want the fruit cake.
We don't want the fruit cake.
No fruit cake.
Okay. And, a lot of times, you'll go into grocery stores and little smaller retailers and see a large selection of nuts at Christmas time.
Right.
Like lots of different walnuts and a lot of nuts.
Absolutely.
And those are probably very good to
Actually,
complement your diet with.
Yes, actually, a lot of your nuts, almonds, sunflower seeds, things like that, they are healthy, what they consider a healthy fat. Pistachios, macadamia nuts. Now, just don't put them in the cookies. Have them out there raw, but they are a good source of a healthy fat and omega-3s.
Right.
So they are very healthy for you. Just not overindulge in them.
Right. And I know I've seen a lot with nuts. People purchase nuts, but there's, you need to kind of store those properly as well, right? Because they will break down at room temperature. Is it better to keep those refrigerated sometimes? And
it depends on the nut. Some of them are better at refrigerated, but other than that, most of them will just require room temperature.
Okay. Yeah, I've just seen some of that. And I was
some of them
just
are.
Curious. So. Okay. Well, those are some of the first things we wanted to share, and just some things off the top of our heads and little pointers to help us make it through.
Also, remember that during socializing, when we socialize, I like to call it the social eater. You have them, those that are social eaters. When you're eating, stay away from, or when you're socializing, do it in the living room, do it out on the front porch, do it outside, away from the food, so that temptation just isn't there. So socializing as well during the holidays can be tricky.
Yeah. I see your point.
Yeah, the social eater.
Right.
It really is. It's like the social smoker or the social drinker. You also have the social eater, which, yeah.
So don't hang out in the kitchen by the countertop where everything's sitting.
Yes, that is a tradition that we all do, right? We all hang out in the kitchen and eat, and
we're getting ready for dinner, and the fresh rolls just came out of the oven,
right?
And they're never going to be
cookies.
They're never going to be any better than they are right now.
They're right there.
Yeah,
warm, nice, but yes, socialize away from there.
So you're not tempted.
Yes.
Remove temptation.
I know. It's the hardest thing to do.
It's a story for many things in our lives.
Right, it is. It's a hard thing to do, but yes, that social eater, that's a big thing. People don't realize how much of our socializing goes on in the kitchen and how hard it is for that temptation. So.
And that's true with many different aspects of our life. I mean, at work, we kind of plan everything around a meal or a meal with an event or something that happens. So. Very common.
I agree.
All right. Well, Tamara, thank you again for coming on to talk to us today about some of these tips, and hopefully we can put them to good use over the next month or so.
2 months.
2 months.
Right.
And even if it does or doesn't work out for you, putting these tips to use, Tamara can help you out here at TK Fitness. And,
absolutely. Come see us.
Help you work in the right direction.
Right.
So, all right. So until next time, we thank you for tuning in with us today, and we'll see you then.